Waffle Nigga! Doom, do, day! Boom! Good afternoon. Starting to log off. Well, we're starting to log off, and we just got done breakfast at Sale Barn. No, I forgot. I'm sorry. And yeah, I had pancakes in the middle. Alright? But today's July 3rd, so that's Harmony's celebration thing. So they got band coming and beer tents and stuff, and yeah, so we're vlogging today. Alright? So we're heading home now. Well, before it gets too hot, might as well chase the ball around. Golfing.
Hey there, Austin. Hope all is well. Thanks for sending the videos in. So let's figure out what we can do to help you break 90, keep it simple. We can do that. So if I look here on the driver on the right, I have a better idea of like the ball flight here, and it matches up with what I'm seeing in your swing. We can see that ball's going to curve over there to right field, right? So we're playing, let me just kind of zoom out a little bit. We can see that ball curve off to the right a little bit, right? So I would have to assume, I'd have to assume without knowing for sure that you're playing like a fade or a slice pattern. So seeing that ball flight matched up with what I'm seeing in our swing, I'd have to assume the club path is kind of too outside in. The face is at times maybe too open. And with that steepness that we're seeing in the downswing from you, that would probably lead to, maybe sometimes a lack of accuracy, maybe a lack of distance and consistency. So let's do some things here to see if we can kind of help you out with that swing plane and club path. And then I would imagine beyond that, the only thing that could be uh, left to deal with is that face maybe being too open through impact, and that would be kind of maybe a grip tweak or releasing the face faster with the arms and hands in the downswing. But let's start with the simple stuff to start. So on the left here with your iron, you're going to kind of square up a little bit more before you take the club back. Right, when I say square up, I think it's right here. So we'll see the shoulders, boom, right? It's kind of almost a little bit more in the lower body, but we can see that you're kind of almost twisting a little bit that way, which is good. But even so, it's easier to see right before you do that how the left arm's a little bit underneath the right. And even when you do kind of twist into position, I still see a sliver of that left wrist and forearm underneath the right wrist and forearm. Now, what that tells me is most likely the shoulders are a little bit open of the target line. Now, let me show you what I would like you to at least experiment with. Pull up a video. All right, so on the right is a tour player by the name of Chesson Hadley. Not a super popular name, but plays a pretty pronounced draw from right to left most of the time. And part of how he creates that draw is we can see his left arm is a little higher than his right arm. And then, kind of on the contrary to you, that would point his shoulders a little bit more to right field. So that's the first thing I would encourage you to experiment with, is trying to square up the shoulders more, / even close them off a little bit to the right. So pull that right shoulder and arm a little bit back, left shoulder and arm a little bit more forward. Because again, visually from down the line, if the arms weren't completely square, I would actually rather see the left arm a little bit higher than the right. So that's the first thought I have. Okay, cool. Now, as we get into your movement a little bit more, I think the takeaway looks good, right? So we'll get you into the takeaway on both. Yeah, club head's a little bit outside the hands, which I don't mind. And the face isn't opening up too much in the takeaway at all. But then as we get to the top, we can see kind of a higher left arm angle, noticeably above the shoulder line. And that sort of limits how deep the club gets. So on this angle from your iron, that depth line, right? When I say depth, it's like how far back does the club go? You're going to make a good full shoulder turn, which you already do, right? You want to make a full shoulder turn, which you do. And then from there, the hands arm can kind of either work up or, deep back that way. And we would probably rather your club work a little bit deeper. And then on the driver here on the right, sorry, let's pull that up. A little bit deeper than the iron, longer club, flatter club, so it makes sense. But still, nice high shoulder line there that I think we could afford to maybe flatten out a little bit, right? Let me pull that down where we want it. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, cool. So I think for both, and I'll show you an example in a second, we could probably experiment with getting that left arm a little bit more across the shoulders. And then from there, the club will shallow more, which I'll explain in a second. Okay, so now we got you down the line with iron, and we got Rory McIlroy down the line with iron, right? So there you are, top of backswing. Let's get Rory to top of backswing. And what we can see is his left arm is kind of more flat across the shoulder line, and that gets the club a little deeper behind him, right? And that's what we want out of you as well, is just that left arm a little bit flatter so the club gets a little bit deeper, right? Cool. Now from there, I think based on what we're seeing out of your swing, it seems as though, come on, these lines are messing with me here. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Let's get rid of these. Your club wants to work a little bit more out, kind of across your hands or over top of them, if you will, versus Rory from that deeper position is going to have that club naturally kind of fall behind him a little bit more. And that's what we want to see out of you, because from that position with his club, the club wants to kind of shoot out more to right field. Yours wants to circle around to left a little bit more through the ball. And with that steepness of the swing, when I say steep, like we're usually referring to swing plane. I don't want to get too deep here, but swing plane's nothing super crazy. So I would focus on a shoulder plane, which is kind of the line from the ball right through your shoulders. We want to definitely get that club underneath that shoulder plane in the downswing, which I think the depth in the top of the backswing would help with, right? So yours just gets a little bit more over on that way down, right? So I think a more close shoulder line at setup and then a deeper backswing position with a flatter left arm at the top should all help you get that club swinging more inside out. And then to make sure it doesn't go straight to the right and it almost kind of either goes straighter down the line or even draws back to the left a little bit, we just got to make sure that face closes through the ball more, right? So that would either be a stronger grip orientation, which I can kind of fill you in on more if you have any questions there, or I don't see your swing from face on, so it's hard to truly evaluate like how the arms are fully releasing in the follow through. Right, so it's hard to fully get a gauge from down the line how the arms are releasing. It does look like the right hand and arms releasing pretty far over, but it could just be that it's coming so steep on the way down that the club face has a hard time closing, right? So again, close off those shoulders a little bit at setup, try and get that left arm a little flatter, club a little deeper to the top of the backswing. I do think good things should happen from there, but let me know if you have any questions, all right? So keep up the good work.
Well, just got done with golfing. Well, I've been golfing pretty much all day, just taking little breaks here and there. And, yeah. Shot 49 this morning, 51 this afternoon, and tonight, 48, which, I don't know. Let's see. Gotta keep, yeah. But yeah, now I'm walking to Vasil's. Cheers! Cheers! No, we're not done yet. Where the fuck is the car? This is a real question. Alright, guys. Let's go to the next morning. Last night, obviously, wild night. Wild. And, yeah, I came home, went to bed, I fell asleep. Wait, we're going day 2. Here we go. But, yeah. If you guys did, appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe channel, post with kids on. See you guys next time. Peace.